What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And tonight, man, I'm going to talk about tonight's All-State Sugar Bowl. You had the number 15 ranked Texas Longhorns beating the number 5 ranked Georgia Bulldogs 28-21. First, you had first drive of the game, man. You had Sam Ellinger with a rushing touchdown to give Texas a 7-0 lead. Then Texas came back after the ball was snapped to the punter, and he took a knee to try to retrieve the punt and gave the Longhorns great field position. You had a Texas field goal to give Texas a 10-0 lead. Then you had another rushing touchdown from Ellinger to give Texas a 17-0 lead. Then you had Jake Fromm hitting Heron, whatever, however you say his name, on a touchdown pass to cut the Texans lead to 17-7. You had a field goal by Texas to take a 20-7 lead going into the halftime. Then the second half, you had the third rushing touchdown by Ellinger, and he hit Johnson on a 2-point conversion to give Texas a 28-7 lead. Then you had Jake Fromm hitting Harmon on a touchdown to cut the lead to 28-14. Then you had Jake Fromm hitting Swift on a touchdown pass to cut the lead to 28-21. And Georgia kicked the onside kick. Texas recovered. And there's your final score, man. Texas 28, Georgia 21. First off, for the Texas Longhorns, man. Excuse me. Ellinger with a big rushing game for Ellinger, man. You know, he was out there looking like Tim Tebow, which ironically, Tim Tebow was in attendance at the game. The way he was running the ball, man, with the straight power run, like he did the same like Tebow would catch a snap and kind of do like the little stutter step in the backfield, you know, to kind of wait till the holes would develop and then he'll hit them. Ellinger did a lot of that tonight, man, especially on those touchdown runs, especially the last drive when it took him like 3 or 4 plays to finally get in there. He just caught it, just stutter stepped a little bit, picked his way through, and then hit the hole and got on and powered his way for touchdowns and first downs all throughout the night. You know, the little running back, man, the graduate transfer from Cal, he ran hard tonight. Like every time he got hit, it seems like he just kept pushing the pile. He ran pretty hard tonight. You know, Johnson, he had a quiet game. You know, he led, I want to say the Big 12 with like averaging like 5 catches a game. He only had a couple of catches, you know, including the 2-point conversion. He was really, really, really quiet until that fourth quarter, but they didn't really need him much tonight. Number 84 came up with a couple of key first down catches. Defensively, man, they played well. Like, they played a lot better than Oklahoma played against Alabama. They pressured Jake Fromm. They blitzed them. They hit him a good bit. You know, they was pretty much stout against the run game for the most part. Forced a couple of fumbles by Swift. Didn't really let Holyfield, like, really get after them like that. They didn't get out physical tonight. I thought Georgia was definitely going to out-physical Texas tonight, and that just didn't happen. Texas pretty much stood toe-to-toe with Georgia when it came to being physical on both lines of scrimmage and just, you know, with defensive effort. You know, blitzing Fromm, hitting him, knocking him off of his spots all night long. It was a very, very impressive performance by the Texas Longhorns. Tom Herman in his second year getting a New Year's Six win. That's big for that program. You know, they've had some hard times ever since the days of Vince Young is a long time ago. You know, even the days of Colt McCoy and Earl Thomas is a long time ago. And this is a big, big win to possibly catapult the school back to what it used to be, as far as competing for Big 12 championships every single year. And now maybe they could start competing for college football playoff spots. Ellinger is going to be back next year. You would think he's going to continue to get better and better as a passer. I mean, he's broken passing records by Drew Brees as they attended the same high school. So you know he has it in him. But more, they're just using him more as a runner right now, and he's handling his business. He's being physical. He's running downhill. He's imposing his will on defenders. It was a nice win for the Texas Longhorns tonight. Yo, I really thought Georgia was gonna beat them up pretty good, but shout out to them for not only beating Georgia, but Georgia had 2 late touchdowns to make the score look very respectable, kind of similar to that Ohio State-Washington game. But Texas held their own and got the win in the Sugar Bowl. As far as Georgia, Jake Fromm was off tonight. Now, granted, Texas played really well defensively, especially blitzing them and putting big hits on them back and not here and there. But Fromm really missed some throws tonight. He wasn't on point like he was, in that Alabama game, man. That Alabama game, it seemed like every time he dropped back to throw, he was hitting people right in stride, right on the money. Tonight he was off. He wasn't really accurate tonight with the football like he's been recently, and that was big for Georgia because the running game didn't really get him going like that. Swift had a couple of uncharacteristic fumbles. Holyfield ran hard, but he didn't get used enough. The other guy, Harron, he ran pretty hard too early on, but then again the scores started getting away from him. They started falling behind. They started falling behind by more and more points to where they pretty much had to drop back and throw the ball the rest of the way. And Jake Fromm wasn't really on tonight like that. He wasn't on. As far as defensively, they was missing a big defensive lineman, number 15, to a growing injury. He was a huge loss. And in the secondary, DeAndre Baker, who was arguably, if it's either him or Greedy Williams, who you would consider as the top corners in the country. And he missed out. He skipped out on this game, to prepare for the NFL draft, similar to Greedy Williams. But Georgia, unlike LSU has a lot of depth in the secondary. Georgia apparently didn't have much depth at cornerback behind DeAndre Baker like that. Because early on when Ellinger was throwing the football a little bit, they was picking on those corners, man. Those young corners was getting exposed out there a little bit. And it's so crazy that, DeAndre Baker was actually at the game on the sideline. But, yeah, those guys didn't really step up. He was a huge loss for them. They didn't. Georgia is funny because as good as their defense been all year, you would have thought that they got more quarterback sacks than they did. But they don't really sack the quarterback like that. And they didn't really get after Ellinger like that tonight either whenever he did step back to throw. And whenever he decided to put his head down and run, he was very productive at doing that. Tough loss for Georgia. I know a lot of people, including myself, felt like I know Notre Dame and Oklahoma has the resume that they've earned to be there. You're not going to put a 2-loss Georgia team over a 1-loss Oklahoma, or better yet, an undefeated Notre Dame, despite how much we know they shouldn't belong there and that record is kind of screwed a little bit. But I thought I would have really liked to see Georgia play Clemson, but the way they performed tonight, it looked like they didn't have it tonight. Texas hit them in the mouth. Texas really wanted this game to get their program back on the map. And Georgia seemed a little lackluster early, but ain't no excuses. Texas just hit them in the mouth. Obviously, they didn't deserve the playoff spot like I felt they should have, despite having 2 losses. That's a big loss for them tonight against Texas as far as trying to prove that they should have been in the playoff. But, then they got the big cloud over their head going on with what will Justin Fields do. He didn't play tonight. They didn't put him in the game at all tonight. So it's curious to see if he's going to transfer. If he had to transfer somewhere, sit out a year, or just stay at Georgia and sit out a year, maybe possibly 2, because Fromm's just a sophomore, before he could have that job. And, yeah, man, the Justin Fields thing, the DeAndre Baker going to the draft, this team had a few distractions, man, but no excuses. Like, you got to go out there, put that behind you, and win the Sugar Bowl game, win the New Year's Six bowl game when you have an opportunity to do it. And the Texas Longhorns took it to them all night long. I was very surprised at how physical Texas was, but shout out to them for being a very physical opponent and getting a big-time New Year's Six Sugar Bowl win to possibly get this program back jumping and back to what they used to be. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go and give me a subscribe. I'm going to have NCAA content throughout the season. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.